Yeah, we can regulate by the magnetic field, the strength of the magnet torus around it at the top. We can regulate how far out it swings. We can change the amplitude. We cannot change the direction. This is only the Earth at work here.
Is it okay for guests to celebrate whenever a peg falls?
The guests always celebrate whenever a peg falls.
How much is there such thing as excessive celebration, or can you pretty much go nuts?
People clap and all kind of stuff.
Okay. No cartwheels.
No, I've never seen a cartwheel. No drinking at prohibited except at parties.
That's right.
Then pendulums can be supported by champagne if you're at a party.
So sorry for those of you just joining the stream again. I had to reset the stream on the YouTube side.
So are we okay?
We're okay. We should be okay on both platforms. TikTok's going crazy.
Wow. Ooh.
It's very
So
close
everybody
now.
is sitting there with their cell phones so they can do anything in the world, and they're waiting for a pin to fall.
Yep. They're biting their nails. The whole world. The whole
Well,
world.
if they put
is
a
waiting
bet
for
on
us.
it, I mean, this
Yeah.
could be lucrative if you realize
Oh, yeah.
it doesn't fall as fast as you think it would. Because
Right.
everybody bet under 5 minutes, and
Yeah.
we've been about 5 minutes since we started this.
Yeah, my over-under was 3 to 5 minutes, and we are definitely there. I still think there's another at least minute or two. I know it looks very close. It is literally within a few millimeters, maybe a centimeter.
Oh,
I was so wrong.
Big mouth.
I was so wrong.
How long did it take? Were you
Oh.
timing it over there?
I don't even know. It was.
She might have been timing.
I was like, oh, it'll take another minute or two.
But see, then you
Boom.
go, wow, now we got to worry about the next one.
Right. So if you're watching on the stream now, how long do you think before this one's gonna fall?
Ooh, look how far away it is.
We know my estimates. Actually, my 3 to 5 minute estimate was probably pretty good. The original one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess here. I'm gonna guess 5 minutes.
I'll go with 7.
5 to 7. Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'll go to
5.
7.
Okay.
You can't go twice.
Okay, what time is it right now? 1:52. So by 2 o'clock, I think this is gonna fall over.
Well, you just took my 7 and went to 8.
I did. It's
You
like
can't
the
do
price
that.
is right. $8,
Yeah.
Bob. $1.
Okay, well, I get 7.
Okay, you got 7. I
then you
have
get 8.
8. And we are.
Anybody else over there betting on this thing?
Do they want us to go to the other side and ask them if they want to go to the other side?
What?
Close over there.
We're closer over here, definitely.
Yeah, the pendulum, it alternates.
Yeah.
By the way we set up the pins,
Yeah, we're gonna move
it
the cameras.
alternates.
Let's move the
Oh,
cameras.
the
in.
camera's coming.
Yep. And Carolyn,
Cool.
we might put you over on this side. All right, y'all, on the YouTube stream, I'm gonna pick up the camera. So if you're sensitive to movement, hold on one moment.
It's definitely a better
Close
view
my
of this
backpack
one.
of goodies.
Woohoo! The other thing is, if you look at it from a different direction, it looks a lot closer.
Yeah.
If you're looking down on it, the perspective puts it a lot closer. It looks as far apart as it can be if you are looking horizontally at it.
So we got to get the new bits.
That's
in.
why we put glass around it so you could access it on the floor and watch it coming towards you, which is a
Nice.
unique, cool experiment.
Yeah, that is cool.
Wow.
I'm bummed that I had to. I'm
I
bummed.
I think it's going to go past.
I'll pass
Yeah,
your
you go.
7 minutes.
Where are we now from our original bid?
We're about 2 minutes out.
Oh, we said by 8 o'clock, by 2 o'clock it would knock it
Yeah,
down.
I
It
said
would be
by-
8 minutes.
Yep. I said by 2 o'clock, I think that peg's gonna fall.
Okay, and I said it was going to fall before it by 1 minute.
I'm bummed that I had to reset the YouTube stream because we were really cooking there before it froze. And I didn't have time to update the info. So if you're just joining us on the YouTube stream, we are looking at the Foucault pendulum. We're just vibing with it, as the kids would say. We're vibing with it. We're kind of taking bets, metaphorical bets, on when we think the next peg is going to fall. I think, and I might have to retool my guess also, Carolyn. I don't think it's going to happen before the next 6 minutes, maybe
know.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that this peg
It's certainly
is
not
within
a
5
good.
minutes.
It's not a good drinking game. You have to wait a long time before the next chug.
Well, depending on who you ask, that could be a good one. That's a drinking game
That's
that wouldn't
true.
end in 30 minutes.
There was a gentleman earlier that was saying that each of the pins
gets tipped over roughly every 8 minutes.
That sounds probably about
It's maybe a little longer than
close-ish,
that.
Yeah.
8 to 10 minutes.
I was gonna guess like
Basically,
around
it's
10.
not. It's not. It's that the pendulum is perfect at swinging back and forth. That period is defined by the length of the string, and so it's done. The Earth's rotation is making it precise, and the problem is it's a very weak force at 30 degrees latitude. It's much better if you can go up to Canada, and so
I
in
think
that
that's-
case, if the wind blows in the wrong way in the string,
I'll move it up.
like it does not turn as fast going that way. It seems to be the case now. This is my pendulum, and I've cursed it enough because you want this to be perfect. And theoretically, at 30 degrees, the sine of 30 is a half, so it precesses all the way around at the North Pole. By the time you get down to 30 degrees, it goes halfway around in a day, but you knock over pins on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
So we shouldn't come back in the morning and all the pins are down. We won't come back in the morning with all the pins down.
So when
Normally
when
the
do y'all-
pins are
When
set
do y'all find the time to, hop in there and reset all the pins?
after hours.
That's a good
Someone
question.
was just asking the same thing online. Yeah, who?
It's reset at night by the night. The
Night
night
staff.
janitorial crew climbs over and resets them.
Okay. Okay.
That kind of makes sense. But these have been reset more recently than that. Did y'all reset them right before the show?
No, and they do. I was going to comment that they do look more uniform than usual. Whoever reset
Yeah.
them up this morning or last night really
They got nervous
used a little
that y'all were
measuring
gonna
block.
come.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we don't stop it. It swings all the time. We keep that little magnet, the little electromagnet running.
Here's a
So
question.
The thing keeps swinging. Yes.
Has it ever stopped? Have you ever had to stop it,
It would
since
stop when the power goes
1970 or
out.
whatever? Oh well, the
But
power.
then you wouldn't see it.
So when the power goes out, do you jump in here and give it a shove?
No, I would never do that. But the person who sets the pins should displace it for the first time.
Yeah.
Then it will kick in on its own as long as there's power to the magnet in the top.
So right, because there is a little electromagnet just kind of keeping
It's a
that
toroid.
momentum going.
See, the idea is in a toroid, it's a magnetic ring.
Right.
The place you do not want to be is in the center. So
Ah.
you only turn that magnet on when it crosses the center. So you have a photocell looking at it. When it breaks the photocell, the magnet comes on and goes back off. And the longer the magnet's on, the more the kick, but the less accurate the precession.
Right.
Because it's going to affect it. Once it's past the middle, it's going to pull it in a certain direction.
I wonder how long after power outage that you have to kind of reset things, does it get into its rhythm?
Almost immediately, because you pull it out, and as long as the thing's on, it'll do the same.
Interesting.
Can you remind folks to start putting in their new guesses for the next peg fall time?
Oh gosh, are we doing that
We're
again?
doing it again.
Oh my!
Let's see
Yeah.
who can
Are we
nail
going?
it.
What time is it now?
158.
We got 158.
Wow, it's not going to fall by 2:00, is it?
No, I thought it was
Okay,
going to be by
everybody's got
2
to
o'clock.
guess.
Yep. I say by 2:10.
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe sooner.
I got to look.
I'll tell you, it looks closer in person than on camera.
240.
It doesn't look that close.
We
This
got
is a
207.
long time interval.
We've got a 207 guess. That might be pretty good.
I'd guess 210.
210, 207,
What are you going to say? Y'all want to guess?
$1, Bob.
When's it going to knock the pin over?
So
What time is it? Right now it is 2 exactly.
3 o'clock. There's
We're
going to be
my
several
guess
pins
is at
falling by 3
210. There's
o'clock.
somebody on TikTok guessed 207. This is a perfect thing for TikTok, by the way.
I
We're
know.
on TikTok.
People.
I
yeah,
know, as
they're-
I said, because it's TikTok.
Sorry.
What are you doing now?
I'm showing them
making everyone throw up.
60 feet up.
60 feet.
It actually sticks out above the building. Got a little cone up there where the pendulum swings.
I did a video of this recently for YouTube, and I want to say the pendulum weighs 170 pounds, but I need to go back and look at it.
It's on that order.
Yeah.
I would say between 150 and 200.
Yeah.
That was my guess. And I knew it. I just, like a miscellaneous fact I don't keep.
Let me jump in there real
More
quick
and
and just
more
hoist
those
it up
make
and
it
see.
over. I'm the one that put it in, yeah.
who was the one
Can you
that
introduce
did that?
yourself to the crowd?
Okay, we did a survey of pendula at different museums, and we knew this one would be hard We had a donor that wanted it badly, and we thought that was great. But we knew that we had to have a long cable because the force is very small and the force gets weaker. It will not precess at the equator. It won't work at all. It goes twice as fast at the North Pole. And so we knew how fast it was going to go or how slow. And we wanted a pendulum that we thought was going to be very reliable. And so we talked to Cal Academy in California, in San Francisco. And the guy that really had done a great job with them. Y'all are being silly over there. Anyway, and so that's where we got the idea, and we got the initial materials he used. And
Don't worry, your phone's caught both of it.
What time is it now? I said 2:10. Oh, I may make it. I'm happier with 2:10 every minute.
Some good guesses at 2:10.
Yeah, I need to check my stream. I think what I have so far is 2:07. Well, somebody said 3 o'clock, which is true. We're going to have several fall over by 3 o'clock.
Maybe 4.
Has anyone ever gotten inside and messed up the swing or knocked over?
No, you to get inside, you have to go inside a little door on top of the roof of the 79 building, where the old observatory used to be.
Got it. And
You'll see
then can you introduce yourself to the crowd again for people who are just joining who you are?
Sure.
Where we are?
I'm Dr. Carolyn Sumners. I'm the museum's vice president for astronomy and physics, and this is one of the first things I did when I came here, because we had a donor who wanted a pendulum. So I went, okay, I'm sure we can do this. And then I realized that I'd come from a further north, that this was not going to be the easiest thing I'd ever done. But we worked with people who have their pendulum in San Francisco, and their pendulum is easy compared to this one, and how to modify it. And this is the pendulum we built, and it has been swinging ever since. So it's very reliable. It'll always perform for you. If it doesn't, you need to worry about sunset, because it may not happen.
It means the sun exploded and the solar system's coming apart, and
No, just the Earth stopping.
well, whatever's making the Earth stop.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
If the pendulum's not moving, you have
That's true.
big
People asking
problems.
about how do we keep the energy in the swing?
Okay, now, gang, everybody listen. That
Gather
string
around.
is ferrous. It is attracted to a magnet. Oh, that's something. No, I shouldn't have said that. Somebody's going to come here with a big magnet.
Oh, well.
Well,
Get past security with a big
ignore
old
that. Oh,
electromagnet.
you get past the security with a magnet here.
With
Anyway.
a big junkyard crane magnet.
Oh, I wasn't thinking about that.
Anyways.
Oh, I shouldn't have. Now I'm curious if it would work. But anyway, back to the real world. So at the very top of the pendulum, which is 60 feet up, actually a little cone sticks out from the building. And at the top, this ferrous cable, there's a ring around it, a torus, a ring around the cable. And when the pendulum swings exactly in the middle of its swing, it will kick in the electromagnet. And then the one place the string does not want to be is in the center. So it will pull it away from the center without giving it a direction. Therefore, the only thing that makes this thing precess is the rotation of the Earth. But we do kick it so that it will keep swinging, because there's a lot of air resistance anywhere to slow things down. But that's how the pendulum works. And that's how you really are seeing the rotation of the Earth, because our efforts to make it move only happen when it's right in the middle and pull it in all directions at once.
I like what you mentioned about finally understanding how the magnet on top works. That it is not imparting any directional energy to it. It is simply keeping it moving in the path that the Earth designates it. The rotation of the Earth designates it to move.
And that was the trick to making this thing work. And as I say, we don't have nearly the amount of Coriolis force, the nearly amount of force that is making the pendulum change this direction of motion, because we're too close. We're closer to the equator.
Right.
If you want to see a pendulum, the pendulums get much easier to build as you go north. They latitude of 30. I wouldn't. Someone asked if we could build one at a place I was working for doing an observatory in Bangladesh, of all places, and I said, no, you're too close to the equator. You won't be happy with the pendulum.
So at the equator,
it doesn't.
You basically all you have to do is set up 2 pegs. They'll fall. That's it.
That's it.
And it will never precess around
Never
the
precess.
circle, right?
There's no force to precess it if you're at the equator. At the
Fascinating.
North Pole, there's the greatest force of precession, and it will rotate twice as fast.
So we just had a comment roll in on YouTube that they do have one in San Francisco. San
Yes.
Francisco is a fair bit north of
Yes.
Houston. What were they at? 50 or 60?
No,
40
no.
something maybe?
The Arctic Circle 66.
Okay, well, I'm way
in
off.
the 40s.
Yeah, yeah.
The northern United States, it's at 35 by Tennessee. That's a nice long width. And then the latitude. How are we doing? Oh,
We're
And
good.
then we got
We're
some
close.
new joiners. Just remind them to get their bids in.
yeah. We said it. We started this game at 2. So a lot of us think it's going to hit the pin by 2:10, and we're regretting it right now.
Yeah, it's like it's frozen almost. It's tempting us. Maybe the Earth has stopped rotating and we're all in danger.
Yeah, maybe everybody's running in the same direction. You should not run opposite the Earth's rotation. You might slow our pendulum down.
Yeah, everybody shove off to your left right now. And let's slow down the pendulum.
215, 220.
It's getting to the part of its swing where I think it swings more slowly.
Here's an interesting.
I think at about 90 degrees from this, it swings most quickly.
Interesting. Here's a fascinating
But
thought
it's got to
experiment.
do it, guys, or the Earth isn't rotating.
Yeah.
Something. The wind's blowing too much inside the pendulum cage or whatever.
Life depends on the next pin falling. Basically.
What
Here,
would happen
Your
if
bid
there's
could if
some-
you put enough on it.
So what would happen if the Earth did stop rotating? What if it just slammed to a stop right now?
There's a lot of angular momentum to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, if the Earth, we are racing toward Florida right now. If the Earth stopped swinging, we'd all fall into the Gulf.
Or would the Gulf come up to us?
Uh,
the
we
water would
We would
slosh.
have unless we're attached to the Earth. If the Earth stopped spinning, we have the inertia of the motion the Earth had. It's like if you
Right.
drop something out of a moving car,
True.
it's got the speed of the car when you throw it out.
Right.
Don't do that either, everybody who's listening.
Uh-huh. Yeah, don't throw anything out of car.
Don't use physics to give people ideas you shouldn't give them.
While we're waiting for the next pinfall, here's a thought exercise that just came into my brain, because I'm like that. What if the whole population of the Earth, 7 billion people, somehow went to the Arctic Circle and everyone jumped at the exact same time? Could you alter
No.
the orbit a little bit, make it more, tilt the Earth's orbit around the sun a little
The
bit?
problem humans have is they think they are more powerful than they are.
Yeah.
You don't weigh anything compared to a rock.
Nope. Or a mountain
So-
or any, yeah.
So basically, there are forces that affect the Earth, but they're not little humans running around.
Yeah. Now, if an
If
asteroid...
you could get a volcano or an earthquake, you can actually change things a teeny bit by shifting where things are.
And they do. Didn't they say that, what was the Tunguska, whatever that big volcano in the ocean that erupted a couple years ago? Didn't they say that technically altered the rotation of the Earth
Yes.
very, 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 very
Because
slightly?
it threw out the way it threw out material.
Right.
Now, what was the name of it?
Toga.
Can't believe I can't come up with it. But
Well,
maybe
I put you on the spot. a
somebody
little
here
bit with
will.
that. Yeah. But they got all the satellite imagery of it. You know, remember they got the satellite of it erupting. They said that was such a big
Tambora?
eruption.
Wasn't Tambora.
No.
Um,
Now I would use my phone to look it up, but it's live streaming, so I can't.
yes, I know
can't.
that. Somebody
To the
look up the
Google.
last great volcanic eruption and let us know what it was.
Yeah, but we do know that it was big enough that it did, scientifically speaking, alter the Earth's rotation.
Who had the last one?
It made our day slightly longer, by
Our
like a
day,
nanosecond.
our day is changing anyway
It is right. It's naturally changing.
because it's going to align so that our day and our month are the same. That we're going to get locked to the sun, to the moon. But it's going to take a long, long time, and the moon is moving further and further away to preserve the angular momentum.
Physics.
So the eclipses are what's going to suffer first. We're not going to have total solar eclipses in a million years
But the moon is
because the
moving.
moon's going to get further away and
Further
therefore
away.
not big enough to cover the sun.
Yeah, from our
How are we
perspective
doing
on the
on that?
Earth.
Wait a minute. We got. Oh no, I lost.
We're past
We're past 210.
210. See, I'm saying, all right, 215.
Oh,
My
you
new
just
guess,
keep remaking
215.
it up.
Yeah, I'm moving the goalpost on this because I think we're past When does solar noon around here? 1:05, 1.
Well, that doesn't make
Well-
any difference.
Well, I don't know.
You're just making it
I'm
up.
just spitting things out. Why? It's
Noon
in my head.
Noon is about 1:14, 1:15
Local time,
local time.
right? But it has nothing to do with.
It has to do with the fact that we keep, has the equation of time, has a certain amount to do with the time of maximum sun
Right.
height, but mostly it's the fact that we mess around with time. Can't mess around with this guy except the air flowing above it. But
No, there's interestingly enough, and people on YouTube, I'm going to remind y'all on YouTube, and I'm picking up the mic on the TikTok too. Lob your questions. If you have any questions about not just the pendulum, but if we can answer any physics-based questions, astronomy-based questions, let her rip.
no, I don't think so.
The second moon thing. Have you heard about that little
No.
story? Okay, so there's a little asteroid that had a close flyby of the Earth, and they say, I read up at this morning, that we'll have, technically speaking, we'll have a tiny little second moon for a few months before it leaves Earth's orbit, and
So the orbit won't be stable, but it will.
No,
be
it's going to
temporary.
be a super wacky,
Yeah.
but it's going to escape Earth's gravitational influence within the next few months. But for the next few months, we do have a little tiny
Well, that is
second
cool.
moon, technically.
I didn't read news this morning.
Just a new view.
But then again,
right.
we have the International Space Station.
Yeah, but those keep their orbits with little thrusters to keep them, in their whatever their
Well,
low Earth orbit.
they're too close to the Earth. They get dragged from the atmosphere.
Right, so they
That's
keep
what
pushing
brings them
themselves back
down.
up a little bit.
The atmosphere doesn't bring the moon down.
Right, it's too far away.
So,
It's not in the atmosphere.
Someone said, "Can this prove the Earth is round?"
There are many things that can prove the Earth is round.
Not
But-
really. It just proves the Earth
But this
spins.
one, right.
But because the Earth spins, it's probably going to be a round object if it's big enough. In other words, if you look at the objects in the solar system, if they're of a certain size, like the asteroid Ceres is the smallest one I can think of, they actually were molten when they formed, and then they would form into a ball shape,
More or less, yeah.
more or less.
Right. Everything we
pretty
observe.
much. The Earth is almost statistically a ball.
Right,
And
it's
the
gotta be
rotation,
elliptical.
but once you start spinning, and you are probably going to spin because you collect stuff not with perfectly balanced forces.
No.
Once you're spinning, you're going to spin out the equator a little bit.
Right. A bulge.
Yeah.
I'm
So the
41,
Earth is
I've got
not
that
quite
bulge going on.
A perfect sphere, but it's close.
Right.
The bigger the planet, the more perfect the perfect sphere. Oh, by the way, I need to see my predictions. Oh, I said 215. Now I'm going to lose it too.
I think
Come on,
that
guys. Come
there,
on. Come
there
on.
might be a little ant underneath the peg just kind of walking it.
Yeah, something's
further
moving
away.
that peg. There's no doubt about it.
All right, we got some questions. I
I think it's going to
Eclipses.
hit it on the way in. You can also bet on this if you're looking for bets. Is it going to hit it coming in or going back?
So a question just came in. I think we touched on it briefly a moment ago. Do lunar or solar eclipses have any effect on the way the pendulum moves?
No.
Yeah.
There's some. It's all a matter of diminishing returns here.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much else messing with this pendulum.
Right.
In this building.
You're right. The air conditioning, the vents moving air around
Yeah.
have more of an effect on the.
And anybody walking close to the ferrous thing with a magnet or whatever.
That's true. Yep.
There's just lots of ways.
You're getting close. I'm going to say. Well, let me see where it's
I
at.
lost
Let me focus
215
here.
now.
Okay, 220. This
Oh,
one
that's got to be overkill.
has to. Well, I'm
It's
gonna
got to be between 215.
undersell, over deliver.
By the way, it does not fall uniformly. The
Right.
pendulum, because of the air currents in the building, doesn't precess at the same rate all day long. And the pins are not exactly, they're close,
Right.
not perfectly separated. So between the two, you can never really know when it's going to fall. Therefore, you have to come to the museum and you have to spend
Yep.
a lot of time here waiting for a pendulum peg to fall.
Sometimes you get lucky and you walk up and it's like 15 seconds. Like if you get
Yeah.
really lucky. If you walk
Yeah.
in here randomly to the museum and see the pin fall right when you walk by, you need to go buy a lottery ticket because
Yeah, I don't think, basically, this direction is not as fast a precession as it is at 45 degrees to this.
Right. While we're waiting, here's another
Seems to be the
question
case.
that came in on YouTube. How does the moon control the tides, affect the tides?
Well, the moon exerts gravity on the Earth, and it pulls. Think about the tides. Think about the water. Think about the ocean.
Right.
Okay, the ocean it moves, can flow, so it flows toward the moon, but the moon also pulls the Earth, and then it leaves a tide behind on the other side.
Right.
So your tidal bulges, one bulges toward the moon, one bulges 180 degrees away from the moon, and your neap tides or your least powerful tides are at 90 degrees to that.
Right.
So, and then as the Earth turns, when I first thought about this as a kid, I always thought the moon was dragging the tides around. No, it's the Earth's rotation.
Right.
The moon only goes around once a month. We have tides every 4 times a day or 3 times a day, depending on the shape of the coastline where you are.
Right.
And that's caused by the Earth rotating under the moon.
Right.
And
Which way the Earth is facing the moon
Yes.
at that moment.
which way your tidal.
Carolyn Sumners is talking right now. She's our curator of astronomy, to say the least. And the voice you're hearing right now is Johnny Hemberger. I'm the YouTube manager. What about flying donkeys?
I don't do much with flying donkeys. Should I?
I'm just joking.
Have I missed my calling?
Just somebody silly in the
Has
comments.
the cable ever snapped?
Ooh.
No. The cable is, if you look, it's multi-threaded steel, and it's never even stretched.
Not any appreciable. Yeah.
Beg your pardon?
Is it supposed to be knocking?
Oh, hi, Sarah.
It just takes a while.
But it's going to do
It's going to knock them all.
Yeah.
24 hours.
It's supposed to knock them all down in 24 hours. It goes halfway around, but it hits a pole on both like that. But it doesn't go quite that fast. There's too much air currents in here, too
Last
much
chance to
motion,
get your bid
and that
in.
which is fine.
Yep.
The pendulum. What a pendulum's perfect at is its swing. It has a uniform back-forth motion, based totally on the length of the string. But
Push it a little
the
bit.
precession at 30 degrees is iffy. It works, but it's not like it would be doing this twice as fast if we're at the North Pole. It wouldn't do it at all at the equator.
So do y'all read a bit of Pendulum?
The pendulum's been here since the 70s.
Well, we don't do it, we should, but you certainly get the idea. If you had to wait for your death, as long as we're waiting for this pendulum,
Probably start.
you'd be very miserable.
so close.
No, it's gonna go. It's gonna go.
And the
Well,
other
it's
one on the other
almost
side, too.
220, guys. This has been a horrible
Yeah.
one.
I said 218,
Well, you're over.
and I think it's coming on the way in. It's going
Right.
to knock on the way in
Right. I think it does a little kind of
because it loops out. on
loops
the-
outward. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely swinging outward.
It's got
The
a
other
little
one, I
like,
think, knocked out on the way back.
that kind of oscillation, that's definitely an oscillation right there. That could be just the air currents, being affected by the air conditioning and blowing around ever so slightly, but enough to cause that oscillation.
I
That
need
sounds
to
so
get I need to
smart.
get someone who wants to do a research project on this pendulum enough to get all their food and everything else and stay here.
Yeah.
We're
Just
close.
bring a bag lunch and sit
You
here
think
and
we
watch the
are?
pendulum. Oh yes.
Are you just hoping? Remember,
So
we
rough-
thought it was going to be about 2:00, and then we thought it was going to be about 2:10, and then we said 2:15, and we're still waiting for it.
Yep. We're at the Houston Museum of Natural
Pendulums
Science.
require
by the way.
patience.
Foucault pendulum. Oh, guys,
Jackie.
it's close.
Yep. Jackie, we're at the Houston Museum of Natural Science. in
Everybody
Houston.
online has to yell when it hits.
Yeah, I want to hear everyone online. What I'm interested in is all the concurrent viewers right now. It's probably going to fall off after the peg falls. But we'll try to keep it interesting. We'll keep it going here for a little bit. Yeah, I had to restart
Yeah,
the
don't
stream.
set your daily schedule by the precession of your pendulum.
Ooh, it did all tippy.
Here we go.
Nah.
I bet you. All right, I bet you this is
It
the
passed
one.
220 though.
This is the one. Oh my
Ah.
goodness.
Two more.
Yeah,
Oh,
you can
boy.
bet the number of swings too. Then you have to count a lot.
One.
Ooh.
It's this one.
Can y'all
Here we
see
come.
it tipping? It's like tipping. I wonder if you can see it on the.
Here it comes right now. It's this one.
You sure?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh,
no! Every time it kind of boops it, it moves it over a little bit.
The teeter.
Come on, you,
36 more swings.
come on, you tease.
Oh, look. That was,
What a
it's
tease.
got to be this one.
223 is what the prediction I got. No, before 223. Yeah, I think within the next 2 or 3 swings, it's going to do it.
Oh, you said that for the last half hour.
Well, that's how I just keep moving the goalposts.
It like moves it.
I know, it moves it ever so slightly when it barely taps like that. Come on.
Oh,
yeah!
222.
All right, so we're going
222.
to move the cameras around at least for now to the other side where it's closer again. Do you want us to move the cameras around to where it's closer on the other side?
You don't
All right.
want to wait for the next
I
one
heard a
here.
yes. But it's
Okay.
going to be a little while.
Bye-bye,
but we'll still move
guys.
it. I'm going to move it around
Let
here.
him see Carolyn for a second.
Yeah.
Hello.
This is who you've been learning from this
It's my
entire time.
pendulum. I built it a long time ago, and it's
Yep.
still swinging.
Been here since if you're just joining us, the pendulum has been here since the 70s. Which is odd because Carolyn's only 26 years old.
Thank you.
When you work with physics enough. Yeah, this is cool.
It's a nice angle because you tend to, if you look at it from here, you get a different perspective
Right.
about when it's going to knock over. It knocks over, it alternates. So to get close to the pin before it gets knocked over, we have to go to the other side. So that means that if people are gathered around the pendulum watching, then every angle is a good angle.
Right.
And we encourage people to go down. If you look, if you can take the camera down,
Sure.
you see you can be on the ground and look straight at it because we have glass surrounding the pendulum. And we'll have a lot of kids will cuddle around the thing and try to guess when it's going to knock. You will usually guess too soon. That's pretty much. Oh, you're trying to throw it?
Well, I said, someone said push it.
Can you let our TikTok audience know to join us on Thursdays for more lives like this? And if they prefer, we can go back to the pendulum again with you if you're down. But just let them know on Thursdays.
On Thursdays, we do this every week, and it's a cool, we'll come up with something cool at the museum that's happening, and then happening, and then happening again. And maybe we'll come back here someday.
Yep.
Or we'll find something else that's equally cool.
So we have for the YouTube stream, we have something like 2.5 million artifact pieces in the museum. There's plenty to see in the museum. Somebody's asking.
Oh, we have a comet coming,
We do have a comet.
but it's going to be really low, so I don't think Houstonians will see it. But if you have a really clear eastern horizon, maybe in the morning, then it's going to start being in the evening, and we'll be talking about it more because we'll have a better chance of seeing it.
Yeah. That might be a planetarium.
Could be.
Thing.
We looked at this morning in the planetarium and went, wow, that's on the ground. It's going to be hard to see in Houston.
Yeah.
Anywhere you don't have it. And you have to have, for a comet, it may say it's a certain magnitude, but that's spread out over much more space.
Right.
And the sky in Houston is terrible. I mean, we don't see much greater than third magnitude, maybe fourth. No.
The light
third.
pollution.
Maybe
Yeah.
second. So you have to look for it, but there is a comet. I think in the rural areas it'll be visible. It's right now visible in the early morning, but once again, you have to have a clear eastern horizon at sunrise to see it. And then it's swinging around the sun. When we pick it up in the evening, it should be a better deal. How are we doing with the pendulum?
Will you sign off with them on TikTok to say goodbye? We're going to shut it down here.
We're going away. Okay, goodbye.
Yeah.
Come back next week.
Yep. All right, so YouTube stream, I'm going to end it here also. Stay tuned. We go live on Thursdays and more in between then, but we're trying to start doing routine, regular Thursday live. So get
Really?
subscribed if you haven't. Subscribe to us over on TikTok. Also,
Yeah, it was great.
the YouTube algorithm's going to hate me saying
I
that,
need to
but we are
I
on
need
all
to
the
think about
socials,
what
so
places we
join
might.
us over there. Check out our other
TikTok
YouTube
got a great
videos.
show.
We have some awesome, cool stuff in the YouTube shorts and the longer form videos. So check us out on there. I've been your mental curator, Johnny Hemberger. Thank you so much for joining us. The podcast, Beyond Bones Podcast, HMNS Beyond Bones Podcast. Go check that out too. That's where
I'm
we're
going
able to
back and do
deeper
something
dive into
normal.
these kinds of subjects through long form podcast. This is the
I'm
Houston
gonna do something
Museum
normal.
of
I'm bringing
Natural
mics.
Science. Yes, Bucks. This is the Houston Museum of Natural Science.
Thank you.
in Houston,
Bye-bye, guys.
Texas.
Thank you so much.
Bye, Carolyn.
Good seeing you.
Oh, you're still wearing my microphone, I think. Oh, you got
Oh,
it,
yeah,
Allie.
mine too.
Allie's got it.
Allie's
So,
got
anyways, I'm gonna turn the camera around for me just for a second. Thank you all for watching so much. I've been your mental curator, Johnny Hemberger. Check out the Beyond Bones podcast, and we'll be back live next Thursday. We're gonna do these regular kind of Thursday live. So, thank y'all so much for checking us out.